Cynicism is an ancient philosophy that has stayed strong throughout history, just like Stoicism. Even if we don't notice it, cynicism has played a part in shaping the modern Western world as we know it. It has changed the way we think, how we explore the world, how we solve problems, and even the way our culture has developed. Cynicism is a type of school of thought that started before Stoicism, but they both come from ancient Greece. Zeno of Citium, who started the Stoic school, originally started out as a Cynic. He began studying philosophy with Crates of Thebes, a famous philosopher in Athens who was a student of Diogenes of Sinope. Today, we will learn about the basic ideas of the Cynic school of philosophy, where it started, and some important Cynics from ancient times. What is Cynicism? The Cynics started a long time ago in ancient Greece. They were created by a student of Socrates named Antisthenes. Antisthenes was born in 446 BCE, which tells us that the Cynic school is very old. The word cynic comes from the Greek words kynikos, which means like a dog, and kien, which means dog. The name is not very nice, and we don't know where it came from. There are two ideas that many people believe in. The Cynics were named dogs because the first Cynic, Antisthenes, started teaching at the Cynosarges Gymnasium in Athens. Cynosarges means the area where the white dog is. We know that the early Cynics were often called dogs because they didn't like following society's rules, caring about money, or living in houses. Instead, they preferred to live on the streets. In the book, A History of Cynicism, Donald Dudley mentions a German philosopher named Christian August Brandes. Brandes gave 4 explanations for why the Cynics were called by that name. Firstly, they live in a way that shows they do not care about others or their surroundings. They have made a habit of not caring, and they act like dogs by eating and having intimate moments in front of others. They don't wear shoes, and they sleep in tubs or at places where roads cross. The second reason is that dogs are not shy animals, and they take pride in not being embarrassed. They see shamelessness as better than being modest. The third reason is that the dog is good at protecting things, and they protect their beliefs. The fourth reason is that dogs are able to tell the difference between their friends and enemies. Do they consider people who are interested in philosophy as friends and treat them nicely, but they send away those who are not interested by yelling at them? What do the Cynics believe? The main idea of the Cynic philosophy is that humans are thinking creatures, and our purpose in life is to use our reason to make good choices, live morally, live in harmony with nature, and live simply while going against social norms that go against these principles. The first Cynics were well known for not wanting to be famous, or have power, money, or fancy things. They didn't value the same things as other Greeks. As we saw, this is one of the reasons they were called dog. Even though there was no official Cynic path to follow, it can be summarized with the following basic principles. Just like the Stoics, the main aim of living a Cynic life is to achieve happiness and clear thinking. Eudaimonia means living a good and filling life. Happiness is achieved through being good, caring, logical, strong against emotions, being able to talk freely, being independent, and not caring about things we can't control in life. You can achieve happiness by living in harmony with nature. Arrogance makes us unhappy and is when we wrongly judge ourselves as superior, leading to bad feelings, harmful wants, and a harmful personality. Eudaimonia means finding well-being and happiness by not valuing money, fame, or power. By saying no to these things, We set ourselves free from them and their power to make us act irrationally and make bad choices. Parrhesia means being honest and straightforward, even if it's not easy to say. Cynics liked when people were real and honest when they talked. They often questioned the usual and widely accepted ways of thinking and believing. The Cynics thought that following this lifestyle would lead to happiness. One of the most famous Cynics was Diogenes of Sinope. He followed the Cynic beliefs very strongly and even lived in a bathtub on the streets of Athens. He loved living as a Cynic so much that when he saw a child drinking water with his hands, he threw away his cup and said that the child had succeeded in living a simple life before him. The founders of Cynicism. Antisthenes. The Cynic school of philosophy was started by a student of Socrates named Antisthenes. Antisthenes was born in the year 446 BC. His father was also named Antisthenes and was from Athens. His mother was thought to be from Thracia. People at that time doubted whether Antisthenes was really from Athens because his parents had different cultural backgrounds. This is something he used to reply to sarcastically. When he was young, he really wanted to learn from Socrates, so he walked the 9-kilometer road from the port of Piraeus to Athens. He was there when Socrates died. Socrates was given a death sentence for alleged corrupting of young minds in Athens. You can learn more about the death of Socrates by reading Plato's Apology. Antisthenes was very angry at the people who hurt Socrates and he never forgave them. He believed that it is good to live a simple life and that anyone can learn to be good and virtuous. Antisthenes, like the Stoics, thought that being virtuous would lead to real and long-lasting happiness. However, unlike most people at that time, he believed in not valuing material wealth, possessions, and societal rules. Instead, he believed that living a simple and disciplined life was more important. He believed that being a good person was enough to be happy because it only required having a strong spirit. He believed that being good and virtuous is shown through actions, not through talking or learning. A wise person can take care of themselves and doesn't need help from others. Having a bad reputation is actually a good thing and is similar to feeling pain. A wise person will do what is right, not necessarily what the laws say. They will also get married to have children with attractive partners. And they won't be afraid to love because only a wise person knows who deserves to be loved. Diogenes of Sinope. Throughout the story of Cynicism, and even the broader topic of Greek philosophy, Diogenes of Sinope is likely one of the most famous people of that era. The man's story is doubtful and causes a lot of disagreement or arguments. Diogenes comes from Sinope, Turkey. He is famous for his unique lifestyle and behavior. He lived in a big container outside in the city of Athens. He didn't want any nice things or money. He went to the bathroom outside where everyone could see, and some people even said he peed on people who were mean to him. When Alexander the Great came to see Diogenes, who was a famous philosopher, Alexander asked if there was anything he could do for him. Diogenes told him to move out of the way so he could have the sunlight. Alexander said that if he wasn't himself, he would want to be Diogenes. Then, Diogenes responded that even if he wasn't himself, he would still want to be himself. Even though he may not have been nice to be with, what he did made him famous for living a simple and self-disciplined life. Even though cynicism is not as popular as it used to be and hasn't made a strong comeback, we can still gain valuable knowledge from the ancient Cynic philosophers. The Cynics believed that the most important thing for a happy life is to focus on being a good person, rather than being rich, popular, or powerful. Being able to freely express oneself and speak the truth is crucial in interactions with society and others. Going against societal rules can sometimes be helpful because it can help us break free from ideas and expectations that don't fit who we truly are. In truth, if we try to live like Diogenes, we'll likely end up confined in a padded room. However, we can still learn valuable lessons from these ancient thinkers to live happier and stronger lives.